Why is it that most middle-class people work hard their entire lives, yet very few ever become truly wealthy? They study, they get degrees, they work overtime, they save diligently, and still, financial freedom feels permanently out of reach. If hard work alone created wealth, the middle class would be full of millionaires. But that's not reality. Today, we're breaking down the real reasons why most middle-class individuals never become rich. And more importantly, what separates those who escape the cycle from those who don't. The middle class is taught one core formula from a young age. Go to school, get good grades, find a stable job, save money, and retire someday. On the surface, this sounds responsible and safe. But safety and wealth are not the same thing. This formula was designed to create dependable employees, not financially independent individuals. When your income depends entirely on a salary, your wealth is capped by time. There are only so many hours in a day, and no matter how skilled you are, trading time for money has a ceiling. Another major reason is that the middle class focuses heavily on income, not ownership. Wealthy individuals prioritize owning assets, things that generate money even when they're not working. The middle class, on the other hand, often spends decades upgrading lifestyle instead of acquiring assets. Bigger homes, newer cars, and higher monthly expenses grow alongside income. This is known as lifestyle inflation, and it silently destroys wealth-building potential. When raises come in, spending rises faster than investing, leaving little room for financial growth. Debt also plays a critical role. Not all debt is bad, but most middle-class debt is consumer debt, car loans, credit cards, and personal loans used for depreciating items. These purchases provide short-term comfort but long-term financial drag. Meanwhile, wealthy individuals tend to use debt strategically to acquire cash-flowing assets. The difference isn't access to money, it's how money is used. Risk perception is another invisible barrier. The middle class is trained to avoid risk at all costs. Stability is prioritized over opportunity. But nearly every meaningful form of wealth creation involves calculated risk, starting a business, investing in markets, or acquiring real estate. Wealthy individuals don't avoid risk, they learn to manage it. The middle class often waits for perfect certainty, which rarely comes, and as a result, misses opportunities that compound over time. Financial education is another missing piece. Most people graduate school knowing how to pass exams, but not how money actually works. They don't understand compounding, tax optimization, inflation, or cash flow. Without this knowledge, people make decisions that feel responsible but are financially inefficient. For example, keeping all savings in a low-interest account may feel safe, but inflation quietly erodes purchasing power year after year. There's also a mindset issue that's rarely discussed. Many middle-class individuals believe wealth is reserved for a special group: entrepreneurs, geniuses, or people born into privilege. This belief creates an invisible ceiling. When you don't see wealth as achievable, you unconsciously make choices that reinforce that belief. Wealthy individuals tend to think long-term. They delay gratification, reinvest profits, and focus on leverage, using systems, people, and technology to scale results beyond personal effort. Another critical factor is the lack of multiple income streams. Most middle-class households rely on a single paycheck. This creates vulnerability. A job loss, medical issue, or economic downturn can instantly destabilize finances. Wealth is more resilient because it's diversified. Businesses, investments, dividends, and digital income streams reduce dependence on any single source. The good news is that the middle class isn't stuck forever. The gap between financial struggle and financial freedom isn't intelligence, it's awareness and action. Building wealth starts with shifting from consumption to ownership, from fear to calculated risk, and from short-term comfort to long-term strategy. Even modest investments, when started early and compounded over time, can outperform decades of pure salary growth. If this perspective challenged how you think about money, you're not alone, and that's exactly why this channel exists. At NextGen Finance, we break down complex financial concepts into practical insights you can actually use. If you want to understand how money works, how wealth is built, and how the next generation can think differently about finances, make sure to subscribe. Like this video to support the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Your financial future doesn't change by accident. It changes when your mindset does.